Welcome to IAS Market Talk, your trusted source for timely egg market insights, brought to you by Innovative Egg Services. Each week, we break down the latest beef market trends impacting Northeast Iowa and Southwest Wisconsin, with expert updates tailored specifically for our IAS members. This week, you'll hear directly from Dave Rueber, IAS Beef Production Specialist, who brings decades of experience and deep knowledge of the cattle industry to these conversations. Dave has been providing market updates to producers for years, and now he's bringing those insights straight to you through this podcast. Tune in weekly for what you need to know straight from people you know. With that, here's Dave Rueber with the latest on what's happening in the cattle markets this week.
David Rueber, Beef Production Specialist for Innovative Ag Services, calling with a beef market commentary for November 5th. Well, I've said wow before when we had really good markets. The wow this week is not a positive wow. We'll start with something positive. We are coming off historic highs. So, I mean, both feeder cattle and fat cattle were prices we had never seen before. That's the good news. The bad news, those prices are gone. We have had a historic 2-week stretch here of down markets, both futures-wise and cash-wise. We'll start with feeder cattle. We basically have dropped 15% in value in 2.5 weeks in what feeder cattle are worth. Limit down again today. Futures markets usually drop on feeder cattle faster than cash feeder cattle drop, but we have seen cash feeder cattle soften up quite a bit as well. That feeder cattle index, which signifies an 800-pound steer, has gone from 370 to less than 340. So $30, $40 drop value for that. Throw in today's big drop, and it's going to be softer going forward. A good 8-weight steer today, they're hard to find. Value-wise, somewhere probably in the 320s, 30s, but it's hard to find cattle that size, and some people haven't been taking them to the markets because they didn't like the drop. So that's where we're at there. Some heifers, I did hear some 8-weight heifers that were under $3 today, so just a crazy drop on that. Those calves had been holding their value pretty good. The 5-weights were still up there in the mid to high 4s. We'll take the edge off of that market as well. So you're going to see these 5-weight cattle trade closer to $4 than $5. The heifer steer spread, still $30, give or take a little bit. Let's talk about fat cattle. Last week we were kind of sluggish, traded cattle kind of around that 230 area. The Southwest is trading cattle $4 or $5 higher than we are at 235. This week, once again, like I said, board down limit today. Boxes have been sluggish. That rally that we usually see this time of year going into the holidays has kind of hit the brakes. Cattle selling today, and actually a fair amount of them, 228 to 230, so softer again. The December live cattle, they're 220. That's the front month is 220. So basis is good if you're a seller of cattle. If you had December cattle hedged, you got a plus $8, $9, $10 basis, which we hadn't seen for a little while here. So that factors into play as well. Some of those hedgers are getting some of their money back and got a good basis to work with. It's just a crap show. That's where we're at right now. And they're scared, they're nervous, they're peed off. It's just the emotions have been wrecked. And sometimes the emotions in a market have more to do with it than the fundamentals. And that's where we're at right now. The tightest supplies of of cattle to come to town as fats, we haven't even got to that point yet. That might be 6 months to a year away yet. So this is not a supply-demand problem. This is a futures issue, futures trading off nervousness, trading off of commentary about a Mexico border going to open sometime, about our executive saying that, beef's going to be lower. Just a lot of stuff out there. Now, like I said, we are coming off historic highs. We knew this would happen sometime. It's always an abrupt deal when it happens. Would you rather rip the Band-Aid off and have one turn of feeder cattle that we paid too much for, or would you rather lose money for a year and a half on a slow climb down? I guess I'd rather maybe rip the Band-Aid off. So we'll just say this last 2 weeks is Band-Aid ripping off time. So keep moving them cattle. The ones we're selling right now are profitable because they were bought 6-8 months ago significantly cheaper. So there's still good profit in closeouts that we're going to see. But, yeah, it's a little bit of a rough stretch here. Once again, my name is David Rueber, Beef Production Specialist for Innovative Ag. Thank you.
That's it for this week's episode of IAS Market Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an update. And if you know a fellow producer who could benefit from this information, share this episode with them. For more updates and insights, visit innovativeag.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll catch you next time on IAS Market Talk.
Are you ready for a hands-on role with purpose? Join the facility operations team at Innovative Ag Services, where we value hard work, safety, and community. With locations across Northeast and Central Iowa and Southwest Wisconsin, we offer industry-leading benefits, on-the-job training, and a culture that supports your growth. From competitive pay to a uniform allowance, we invest in our team. Grow with IAS and discover your co-opportunity. Apply today at innovativeag.com.